Hello, it's Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and as you see in front of me, we've got all sorts of yummy noted Cocoa Daisy items, and I decided today to turn on the camera and do a setup with me for January. So I wanted to walk through a couple things before I get started. So first, I receive the A5, however, A5 Dory. However, I trimmed off just a little bit of it. I trimmed about, like 3/4 of an inch, so that I could have a standard wide insert. Standard wide is just, I don't know why I fight it, but standard wide is just sort of my jam. And so this is now a standard wide size, so just compared to the standard size, it looks like this. And I don't have my other A5 in front of me, but so this is it's just a little bit more narrow than A5, but a little bit wider than standard. So to me, it's like kind of the Goldilocks. It's a good size. Plus, I have like not hundreds, but I have quite a few standard wide traveler's notebooks. So I'm trying to decide between this one to set up, and this is from this is the Heidi Swap Journal Studio. And I love the stripe. I also really love that it's super neutral on the inside, so it'll go with this kit really well. But I also really love this one, Sweet Caroline from Webster's Pages, partly because this purple on the inside goes really well with some, like the pinky purple goes really well with some of the pinky purple in this kit. And I also really like that this one has a card pocket, excuse me, and that is really good for like adding a card like that. So what I think I'll do is I think I might just set them both up and then switch out throughout the month. So I think I'll start with this one, and then I'll set up this one, and then I have already put all of the die cut icons, and I basically like unpacked all of the kits that I get, and I'm on both the creative team and the memory keeping team, so I get quite a few items, and it helps me to have them all sort of like all out in one place. So I have like labels in this little space, shapes, I'm just calling them shapes in this space, the sticky notes, and then the tags, and then icons, like I mentioned. The tabs are in this section, and then all of the like word die cuts are in this section. And then I've kept, I know this seems weird, but I've kept the little strips that I cut off when I trimmed down this insert, and partly because there's stuff on it that I could add, like I could add this somewhere, so I don't want to waste it, and I might find a use for it, and so I'm just holding on to it now. I can always like cut little squares and do something like that. So this is staying with, and then under it I have the two glue pens for this month. I'm so excited about these, and then my little teeny scissors that I like to have with me. Yeah, and then the washi, and then all the little clips are in this area here. And so this is really helpful when I'm setting up a planner, to have everything kind of right here ready to go. And then here are all the papers. I actually will be using, so these are the backer cards, and I will use both of these backer cards that came with the letters as a page marker. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And then yeah, kind of all the other little elements. And then I also received the mini dory, and I don't do much to set this up because this is really just for notes and kind of on the go, just things that I need to remember. So yeah, and that's it. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to kind of clear some of this to the side. So like, I know when I'm setting up a planner, I don't necessarily need all my stickers out because I'm probably, when I'm making dashboards and filling the pockets, I don't necessarily do that with stickers. And so I'm going to put these all to the side. I might use those though. And then I'm going to get started. One other thing I wanted to mention before I like really get moving is I did go ahead and add a dated monthly. This monthly is from Plan to Create, and it's an A5 size that I just printed a little smaller, and just added this to the middle of the insert because while I deeply love having undated planners, doing a monthly layout is like the bane of my existence. And so I love being able to add inserts, printables like this one, so that my monthly is already done. So the first thing I like to do when I do a setup is I like to do the pockets first, just because it's fun and it's easy. Well, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's like surprisingly hard to fill these little pockets just because there's just so many options. But I knew I wanted to use that pocket card in that pocket card like holder, and I'm pulling some of the personal size dashboards, which fit really nicely in the back of the secretarial pocket. And now I'm pulling die cuts that have some black accent. I wanted to bring some more black into the pocket decoration, and so either they are black or they're icons that I just really want to use. And doing the same with the word die cuts as well. I pull the clips out, but I actually won't end up using them. I will end up using them in a different planner where they fit a little bit better. So when I use die cuts in a pocket setup, I always back them with a little bit of washi tape, and that helps them stick in the pocket without actually being permanent to the pocket. And now it's like the game of like, okay, will this fit here? Or does this fit here? This went faster than it normally does. Honestly, sometimes it takes me forever to make a decision. But my goal for this setup was just to sort of do it in a timely manner. I'm going to put the washi from the kits around the washi card, and I will speed this up. You won't see me do all of this. Ooh, magic. And then I also added another washi from another designer. It's just like a black graph washi that I really like. These are the chipboard pieces from one of the pocket memory keeping kits, and I just stuck it to the clear pocket on the front. Okay, so I'm about to work on my slip cover for my dory, and I make two big mistakes. One being I take off the craft cover, which I never do, and I'm not really sure why I decided to do that. But then I'm also going to try to slip cover this as if it's still an A5 insert, and it is not. And so the front of this slip cover is going to look wonky because the insert is, yeah, there it is, not good. So I decide to just actually trim down the insert and put it, or trim down the paper and adhere it directly to the craft cover, and then I'll just add the craft cover back to the insert, and it will just be what it will be. So I also like did not take enough care measuring and when I was trimming, so it still looks a little wonky, and I'll fix it a little bit by adding the black strip. But this was just all around an ill-fated dashboard or slipcover attempt. But you know what? Sometimes that happens, and you just gotta go with it. So I'm adding a couple die cuts to attempt to fix the fact that there's a lot of room. There's kind of a gap. It's uneven. Let's just put it that way. And this stuff doesn't normally bother me, and it actually, as I'm looking at it, it still doesn't really bother me. It might bother other people, but that kind of stuff is just kind of, it is what it is. So I'm adding the rest of the paper to the back of the craft cover and trimming the excess. And then this will just sit in the insert. So when I want to take the insert out, I'll just take the actual notebook insert out, not the insert and the cover, and it will be just fine. So here I'm covering up the month because when I trimmed the insert, I trimmed off a section of the like dated month, and I never used this little monthly, but I did want something that said January on the front of the insert, and so I just trimmed down one of the dashboards to do that, adding one of the pockets. And the pocket's a little small for the 3x4 cards, which I could have easily trimmed that card down, but I decided to trim a different card down and make a tag out of it. And I think I discovered this maybe last month or 2 months ago, that the hole reinforcers that are in the planner kit, in the sticker sheet on the planner kit, work beautifully as little hole reinforcers for when you're making a tag. So I don't have a use for those hole reinforcers otherwise, and so I really like being able to utilize them in this way. Needless to say, I've been making a lot more tags. And that's just, I mean, really decoration, just to look cute, and I really like how that turned out. So I'm checking my to-do list of things that I wanted to make sure that I actually did in this setup. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm setting up a planner, I sort of forget, like, what did I do last month? How did I set this up? So having a checklist of things that I want to do in a setup helps me stay on track for that setup. So I'm almost done with the pockets, and I'm going to move on to the page marker. And I've done this for a couple months where I either put 2 dashboards together, A5 dashboards, or the backer cards. This month the backer cards were so cute. I love that like newsprint look, so I decided to use the backer cards. And what I'm doing here is I'm adhering the top of these 2 backer cards with clear tape, like your kind of run-of-the-mill clear tape. And then I'm going to add 2 personal size dashboards on the page marker, partly because it's cute, but also it helps to weigh the page marker down a little bit so it doesn't kind of flop around when you're taking it in and out of your insert. I'm using one of the new glue sticks, which I just love. Prima had similar glue sticks for a while, and then they discontinued them, which made me so sad. But like at the same moment, Christine announced that they were going to have these in the kit, and I was like, yes, I love me a glue pen. just outlining the dashboard just so that it pops a little bit. And here's where the struggle starts. So okay, yep, add some sticky notes, and now to add the tab. So it will not work to add the sides, the two different sides of the tab to each side of the backer cards. What you'll, if you do something like this, eventually I will show you that you'll want to adhere the tab like fully together, and then adhere the back of the tab to one side of the page marker. And that way when it flips up, it doesn't pop the tab off. So, you know, a little trial and error. And then this will be too wide for my insert, wah wah. So no big deal. I'm just going to trim off the a little bit off both sides of the page marker, and then it'll fit fine. And so now I'm going to test it, and yay, it fits really nicely now in the insert. And on to the monthly page. I don't know all of my plans for the month yet, and so I'm just gonna do a lot of decorating for now, and then I'll go back and add my plans later. I decide to sort of really decorate the bottom of the insert of the monthly section with some washi tape, and just sort of play up the bottom. I think of what I'm gonna do later is I will go back and do a little bit of stamping on the top part. I would like to see a little more black in this monthly, and there's a really one of the stamps from last month has this like paint splatter that I think will look really nice. So eventually I will go back probably and add some stamping. I decided not to do any stamping for this setup because I am a messy stamper, so it's like everything has to be cleared away if I decide to do any stamping. And so that might be another video. Yep, so here I'm gonna add some of the washi on the bottom. And I decided to like overlap the washi rather than have them kind of separated. And I'm adding the little clipboards to the sidebar of the monthly, and I don't have enough. These came from the Daisy Weeks kit, so I'm just going to make one with one of the clip stickers, and I like the dark black line more, and so I'm going to go back and outline the other ones so that they all look similar. And yeah, so I'm going to audition several things for that bottom section, and eventually I will decide to use some of the paper scraps from the dashboard that I had cut up earlier. Waste not, want not. I definitely keep all my little scraps to the point where it's like I look at some of them and I'm like, Rachel, you don't need to keep that. But I always in the back of my head I'm like, but maybe I need that teeny tiny little scrap for something. So I'm gonna try out a couple other little pieces, and eventually I'll choose that one, but that will be about it for that bottom section. Oh, I do add the glasses. That's right. And so monthly is done. I am adding a this week sticker to the bookmark, which I had forgotten. And I think now I'm sort of, oh, right, I'm going to also try this washi, and eventually I'll put a little swath of it down there, and then I'll also put a little bit on the bookmark, and on the page marker it says this week. I'm feeling ambitious with this setup and decide to also set up the first week of January, and I'm doing a Hobonichi week style of the month or the week on one page and then the open other page. And I'm actually using the Daisy Weeks stickers to create the weekly section. I probably should have measured this, but I was just feeling like I wanted to sort of just get it done, and so I don't measure it. I'm just sort of guessing where the days of the week should go, and I'm also whiting out the like pink strips that normally with this insert would denote the days of the week. And yeah, this is a really easy way to change up one of the Cocoa Daisy inserts. You can, if there's something about the insert that doesn't work for your planning style, you can always adapt it and change it. It's your insert. And so like whiting out those lines will help me have a better, it'll look better once I'm done planning the week. So I'm adding some of the stickers from where I did add a sticker from the new classic sticker kit, which is designed for the classic size Happy Planner, but they work really well in this insert. I'm going to add one of those decorative stickers and outline it. And I've been really liking this month or this week on one page. It's been working out really well for me in my Hobonichi weeks, and that's more of an on-the-go planner. So having this as my sort of daily planner, my apology of my big head in the way there. I definitely need to get my hair colored. Yep, but that is life. So I've outlined the different days of the week here. I'm going to add a little scrap from the cover up to the top to add a little punch of just add a little extra to the page. I really like these sticky notes this month, so I'm going to be probably using them quite a bit. So as stickers instead of just sticky notes. So I've added that one there. And I'm looking for something to add to the sticky note, just a little extra, either a word or a phrase or an icon or something just to, and that was not what I ultimately choose. So there it says like classy and sassy or something, which is cute. And I'm going to add this little circle to the sticky note that I had adhered down earlier. And then this is kind of it for the weekly planning so far. And then I have one other thing I wanted to set up for the month, and that's going to be my habit tracker. So on to the habit tracker. So I'm doing this after the monthly pages, and I'm using the sticky notes that are month sticky notes. And something I like about this glue pen is that it is really sticky, but also you can peel up. If you work fast enough, you can actually move stickers around before they are permanent or die cuts or whatever you're trying to adhere down. So I will move these one more time because again, like I'm just not good about measuring before, measure once, or measure twice, cut once, whatever the phrase is. I'm so willy-nilly about things that I'm just like, yeah, it'll fit, and then it doesn't fit, and so I have to change it, but it eventually fits. And I'm going to use the tab labels, and I'll be tracking exercise, my budget, meal planning, actually more like food tracking, but meal plan was the sticker, and then my daily to-do list. So this wraps up my setup with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see close-ups of the final product, you can head to the Cocoa Daisy blog, and I'll link that below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for other videos to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye.